Good morning, day 7. We are sadly bidding farewell to this beloved area of the Yorkshire moors. We're going through Helmsley one last time and I adore that village. It always seems to be where I start out at and end up and finish there. But today we're heading to the Yorkshire Dales. We're going waterfall hunting today. So I got really good intel on at least 3 that I know of, and we're gonna go check those out today. So we've got about an hour drive between here and there. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully we can get there nice and early before the crowds do. It's just coming up on the weekend, so hopefully we are able to beat them on over the Saturdays and Sunday. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the first waterfall. Alright, first waterfall of the day is we're at Aysgarth Falls, or Aysgarth, which is in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. It's a set of 3 falls, the upper, middle and lower falls, that fall over limestone steps. The name comes from an Old Norse word meaning opening in an oak grove, and was actually featured on in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So what you see behind me is the upper force of Aysgarth Falls. As you can see, it's quite powerful right now. We've had a fairly decent amount of rain over the past week or so. Not masses, otherwise it would be up higher, but obviously still enough rain to make it look absolutely incredible. I'm not sure if it was this section or one of the lower sections that was used for Robin Hood, but I'll definitely check out what it was and put it, at the bottom of the screen. But pretty damn impressive, I tell you. Wow, worth checking out. It's free to get into. You've got to pay for parking, but free to get into. So yet another one to put on the list for the Yorkshire adventure for free stuff. So this is really sad. I can see here, unfortunately this rabbit does not have much longer. You can see from the swollen eyes has myxomatosis, which is deadly to rabbits, and it's really not a pretty way to go. But there isn't much we can do for this guy. You can see how unscared he is of us and of the dogs. I could touch him with a stick and he just wasn't doing anything. He's out here ready to die, which is really sad, but it's part of life. But yeah, just not enjoyable to see. So why did I show you that rabbit? Because adventure isn't always about beautiful skies and happy adventures. It's important to realize that there are other things going on out here that we do see. Most people have never seen a rabbit with myxomatosis before, and it's not the first one I've seen, sadly. So I always want to share that with you as well, even though it's sad to see. I will let the staff here at the visitor center know that he's there, so maybe they could at least dispatch him humanely. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Part of life, and adventure is part of life, and life is part of adventure, and so is death in a lot of ways. So that's why I shared that with you. Wow, this one's even more impressive. This is heading down to the middle falls through here. Hopefully you can hear me over the roar of the water. Pretty damn impressive, wow. So not only are these falls appealing to the movie industry with Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, but it has also attracted various very well-known people over the last couple of hundred years, including Ruskin, Turner, and Wordsworth. It is also now a SSSI, which is the Site of Special Scientific Interest, and one can see why both the SSSI and why it has attracted people to this area for over 200 years. It is powerful, it is stunning, and it is raw nature. And I'm really glad we stopped here. Very, very different feel this morning than yesterday morning. I have basically all the layers I own with me on, almost. And throwing a second pair of leggings on this morning. Chilly, cold, gloomy, sun not really wanting to show its face. Definitely falling into fall up here. But I do have a warm coat. I just back up the car. I just didn't feel like I needed that quite yet. But definitely glad I have it, because I think it's supposed to be like this today and tomorrow and potentially Sunday. So it's about, I want to say 1,000 meters, almost a kilometer to the lower falls from the visitor center. You can hear that massive roar behind me, just down to the left here. Definitely loud. And this is definitely more of a cascading type fall versus the one long drop like on those middle falls there. So we're going to check out the top here, and then we'll walk back down to look at the other end, hopefully be able to view upstream. So something you can see behind me in the rocks is lots and lots of holes, round holes, and these are caused, I believe, learning from somewhere else, when pebbles get stuck in those little holes and they become an eddy in that hole. That constant sandpapering motion of that pebble in that hole just constantly makes it bigger and bigger and bigger in these big limestone shelves right here. And so that's why you see so many along here, along the edges, where the eddies are more common versus the main channel, where pebbles and rocks would just carry down the stream and settle on the bottom. Well, that was definitely cool, and well worth a stop here, especially being free. As long as you don't count the parking costs in that. But I think it was £2.70 for a couple hours, so not bad in general, not compared to down south. So heading back to the National Park Visitor Center for the area, and then we are going on to place just a little further south, not many miles. We actually passed the turnoff on the way here at West Burton. Go check out Cauldron Falls, which by the same name of the sound of that, excuse me, I'm like out of breath climbing up that hill, but by the sound of the name of that, that should be something quite impressive. But I also may leave the dogs in the car for that one. If it's anything like the Devil's Cauldron, it'll be all planks and narrow paths and probably not a good place to take them. So one thing I will say, is nice. All the paths through here that are accessible from the visitor center are dry, well maintained. Definitely could use wheelchair, stroller, pram. Very good access for pretty much everybody. Alright, we are in little village of West Burton. It's literally 5 miles down, or 5 minutes away from Aysgarth Falls. And this is just basically a bunch of houses surrounding a green. There's lots of parking on the street, so it might take a little bit of finding. Of course, I got to the last place quite early, but I'm sure other people are coming here first. So it'll be a little bit more crowded here, but man, this place is cute. I really like it. So we parked at the top end of town. We're just having to walk down. Cauldron Falls is literally right outside the town housing area, and as you can see, just look how pretty this is. Just all these really beautiful little houses. So there isn't a whole lot of information I can find on Cauldron Falls. It is part of Walden Beck and was made famous by William Turner, who came here to sketch the waterfall in 1816. So Walden Beck in general has been very important for this area, especially for West Burton, as it provided the town's first electric supply in 1913. So this whole area has actually been hugely important for the town and residents of West Burton throughout history. Not only is it a tourist attraction, brings people in, but it's provided electricity for them and also provided power for the mill, which brought in an economy. Behind me, this long piece of concrete among countless other pieces of debris, this is where the old mill would have been, and this is all that is left of it at this point. Can't really see much else. Obviously, like I said, the machinery's all gone, and the creek isn't very high right now, and you can imagine how much power this would have had coming through it at other times, and at the end of a major rainstorm or prolonged rain over a week. But as it is already pretty impressive. traffic. You can definitely see why it is called Cauldron Falls. Just water pouring into this massive bowl right here, cauldron in essence. So definitely worth stopping at. Again, free of charge, and parking is relatively easy to find. So we're gonna walk on and find the next adventure. I'm actually standing behind a waterfall. I'm at Hardraw Force. I am absolutely incredibly astounded by this place. In this natural amphitheater that, oh my gosh, just goes right behind the waterfall. Look at this! Oh my gosh! Absolutely nuts! Loving it!